Okay, we're ready. We're ready. Jade, if you could turn the music down, I think we are ready. We are ready. We are ready. Okay, one more time. Thank you guys so much for coming. Ladies in the front, we're ready to start. I am so thrilled to be able to bring to the microphone right now our host and moderator for this evening, who has been gracing us with her presence for 2 years in a row now, the amazing Black actress, Andrea Lewis.
Thank you. Hi, guys. How are you doing? Look at all these beautiful Black people. Hey, now. So, like she said, like Michelle said, this is my second year doing BB Digital, and I'm super excited about it. I did it last year at the New School, and I was just so honored to be the key speaker there and to just see all of this content that featured people of color in a positive way. And, you know, it's a lot of work for us to do this kind of stuff and to put it together and to see such a supportive crowd. So I want to give it up to you guys one more time for just, supporting this event and coming to it. Thank you so, so much. And I also want to mention to you guys that we are doing a giveaway tonight with ABFF. You guys know the American Black Film Festival, which is coming up in a few weeks in New York for the web series panel, which I am going to be a part of. Whoop, whoop. And we're going to be giving away tickets. So we want you guys to use social media, use the hashtag ABFF2015 and BBDigital2015. Okay, that's hashtag ABFF2015 and BBDigital2015. Use this on Twitter and Instagram. And at the end of the night, we will be giving away a pair of tickets. Okay, shout out to my friends, Mama. Yeah, I see her right there. Hey, girl. Hey, hey, hey. So I just wanted to mention that. And then now I want to bring up our creators of this amazing event, Darren and Empress. Do you guys know them? I don't know if you guys know, but they're some of the prettiest people I've ever seen in my entire life. Entire life. Empress Varnado is a budding media professional with a background in integrated marketing in the multicultural arena. She is also, she just graduated, right? Just graduated. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, and Darren is a producer director living in NYC but born in Brooklyn. He's also Trini, now West Indian. Yes, 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 yes. And he is the co-creator and executive producer of the comedy web series Brett and the City. Have you guys seen that? I kind of love it. Just saying, I'm kind of obsessed, whatever. And they have created this event, BB Digital, so let's give it up for them. And let's bring them out right now. Thank you. Thank you, darling. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you for waiting. This is very exciting for us. So tonight we have a very provocative and engaging theme. So we're celebrating diverse narratives about sexuality surrounding people of color across the diaspora. We are excited to bring you content that comes from creators that have creative control, which is really exciting. This theme is designed to provoke critical thinking, and really what we're excited about is the engaged dialogue that will happen afterwards.
Yeah. So we just want to do a couple of housekeeping rules. Well, first, welcome to Black, Brown, and Digital presents Sex, Exploitation, Exploration, and Expression. There will be some nudity. So if you're not ready for that, then, close your eyes a little bit. But we're just excited to bring you a lineup of web series it's not just about sex, right? It's about us exploring different sexual expressions that isn't highlighted in the media. And besides that, after we have our screenings, we will have our lovely lineup of panelists. And Andrea is going to talk to us more about her new production company, Jungle Wild Productions. So we can continue the conversation about media ownership, right? So just make sure that you are tweeting and twittering and all that other cute stuff. Hashtag BBDigital2015. Cool beans.
And we couldn't have done this without the support of many, many people, but we have to highlight, of course, Silicon Harlem, Bruce Clayton,
I know Bruce Clayton. Right.
and Bruce Lincoln Clayton Banks. And we have to thank Michelle Materre from Creatively Speaking. We have to. Just no way we could do this without you. And we have to thank our staff, and we have to thank Madiba Harlem. Thank you so much for this venue, wonderful venue. We have Joe Yulo from First Frame Films over here, who's helping us out. Yes, You Are for Africa, who is helping us with our Twitter chats that you guys were graciously a part of. Our two vendors, Lemon Honey and the other vendor, When Love Works, and they're having a raffle right after this, so stay with us. And the J-Dot Agency, thank you, thank you, thank you. Mr. DJ Goodwill, on our left, thank you. I believe that's it. We have some teasers that you can tell us a little bit more about.
Yes, so we want to shout out our friends of BB Digital right now, and we want to show a few teasers from them, as well as from my production company, Jungle Wild. If you guys did not know, I am a content creator, a writer, an actress, and a producer. And so take a quick look at some of these teasers.
Jungle Wild.
I danced for you, so dance for me. So then you left me?
Why does it have to be all or nothing?
While y'all trying to get it on, she stops and asks you questions.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Have you slept with her? Were you in a relationship with her? I already know, so you just need to say
But what does that prove?
You just
though?
need to man up and
what
say
does that do for you?
Let's take it from the top. 5, 6, 7, 8.
I don't compete.
What?
How was your date with Romeo?
Curate. Yo, woman.
Bigger than Breaking Bad? What is that? I cannot help if my stories sound exaggerated. I am an actress.
Let me explain. Please, relax.
I'm doing this crazy thing because I have to.
Jared.
And we've been caught in traffic out.
You be strong, Bobo. You be fucking strong.
Just what makes that little old ant think he'll move that rubber tree plant?
Get out of my office and go buy her a gift.
I done caught y'all asses. Asses is caught.
Shut the fuck up!
So let's give it up for them all one more time, all of our quick teasers and our friends of BB Digital. So now we are going to get into the actual web series. And as they mentioned before, as Empress mentioned, there's going to be a little bit of nudity. I hope you guys don't mind seeing titties every now and again. I was going to come naked, but I was like, it might be inappropriate to show up like that, but whatever. So this is going to be the web series selection. You guys can follow along in the programs to see a little bit of the quick synopsis of just what these shows are about. And please enjoy them. Please support them. Give a big round of applause. Give a big cheer to them. And let's get into the sexy stuff.
We pray, Father, that you protect us, Father. We pray, Father, that you give us life.
There are so many times I wanted to commit suicide, there are so many times I wanted to die. It was very sad. I was alone. I cannot imagine another person going through what I went through.
For those who left us, Viva la trans community! Viva! Viva!
I was born here, a land with beautiful mountains and deep dark forests, home to wild animals like the golden lion and elephant grey. A country blessed with diversity in ethnicity, gender, flora, fauna. Yet in all this richness, as a people and as a nation, we still struggle to recognize and appreciate this diversity. Instead, our people have left all this for dead.
Thousands of anti-gay protesters demonstrate in Jinja, Uganda in support of a bill proposing life imprisonment for homosexuals.
We shall have a war with the homosexual lobby in the world.
Just a day after the controversial anti-gay bill was signed into law, headlines such as this one, which reads, "Exposed," on a newspaper in Uganda called Red Pepper, hit the streets. Uganda's 200 top homos named.
On Friday of the week the bill was passed, I was on the front page of the Red Paper. I officially lost my job and several of my family friends, fearing for their safety, abandoned me. For the past month and a half, we have been living behind a closed gate, closed windows, keeping on a very down low. People go hungry for days, and if the mob doesn't get them, the hunger and the lack of access to antiretrovirals will surely kill them. I guess you're also going to ask him. Yeah. So do you have to look in the camera?
No, you can avoid looking at the camera.
Okay. I met Nelly through high school. He was reluctant because he wasn't sure what he was feeling, because he knew he wasn't gay, he knew he was into girls, but he really didn't know why he was feeling this way towards me. So yeah, we met again this year. I was hanging out with my girls, and then who do I see? It was Nelly just across the table with his friends. And I look at this person and it seems so familiar, but I'm like, could it be him? But then he's looking at someone who looks different. So I look at him and then I say, Nelly. And then he's like, yeah. Him saying that I had transitioned made it seem easier for us to actually start a relationship.
homosexuality is a human right, but also we need to appreciate the fact that it is not a human right across the world. And certainly in Uganda, we don't take it as a human right.
I've been attacked more than once. What happens is that you lose self-esteem, you get depressed, you lose confidence, and you're basically a dead person living, waiting to actually die. I've always known like Thailand is the heaven for transgender people. They are fully accepted. They have these nice, relatively cheap doctors that you can go for transitioning, for having surgery and all that. In as much as I'm making plans for it, I'm still trying to wrap my fingers around it. I'm still trying to accept it.
You excited for your date tonight?
I'ma trick that man into my pussy!
You shouldn't have to trick him.
What?
You shouldn't have to trick him. What? Come back to the phone.
Why are you yelling at me? Are you excited for your date?
Yeah, I think he has money.
I'm at least excited about the free meal. Ooh, and free sex!
I've never paid for sex.
And then I said, what reports? It's after 5 p.m. Then I try to be a nice boss, but what are you gonna do?
And then I was like, boom! Boom! Oh, that's hilarious! I gotta text my friend! Yeah, I'm gonna.
I invest a lot in my personal space, my friends, and my relationship.
Yeah, okay. Well, say for example that this date is a worthwhile venture that could potentially grow into something else. Would you invest a lot of money in that?
Yeah, sure. And time.
And money.
And emotion. You know, that's...
He said, of course, you know.
I don't know. But do you want to come back to my place? Oh, there you go.
He's like, I don't like bagels. I only eat donuts.
Okay. Let's get to it.
Hey, wait. I thought you wanted to hear another report story.
Oh, yeah, I do, but I thought you wanted this date to be special.
Look, I do, all right? But I'm not used to being chased, all right? I'm usually the one that does the pursuing.
Oh, okay. Why don't you chase me?
Okay.
Chase me.
Okay, what?
Chase me.
Come on. We're so close.
Babe, it's not gonna happen.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to your dick. Come on. Get up. Please.
You can calm down.
Calm? I'm calm.
Your voice just cracked when you said that.
Well, you know, it's just been a long time, you know.
It's been a long time for me too.
Really?
Yeah.
How long has it been? A couple years? Months? Weeks? Days? Hours?
Come on. I like you. Don't you like me? Anything.
You almost got it in.
Like I said, it's just been a really long time.
Did you have fun?
Not at all. Super embarrassed.
'Cause I did. I had a lot of fun. Would you still want to invest in this with your money?
I'm gonna go. Yeah, that's my son to go.
Are you gonna go to the bank?
No, I'm going home.
Are you gonna come back?
Can you do me a favor and not call me ever again?
So how'd your day go?
Terrible.
Yeah, mine too. Can I come over and watch a movie?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, see you.
Bye. I am not gonna let you ruin my night. I'm still gonna have fun, okay? Come on. Come on. Oh, God. My life is sad.
We're from the mud. Black woman, aren't we?
It's hard to define as a black woman how I get to be natural. My natural state as a black woman is earth. It is ground, it's growing things, it's making things, it's nourishing, it's this, it's being in this. It's interesting that this is like Brooklyn mud in Brooklyn. Like black women we're always like street women. We're welfare mothers and street women and we're from the street and we get up. But we're fucking earth mothers and we heal every fucking body. Right? We're Mother Earth. The ways that I view myself as beautiful or as natural or as of something wonderful somehow get twisted into a caricature that's defining in some way of me as bad, dirty, ugly. It's not pretty. It's like the beautiful ugly that is us. I don't know. Is it us? Black men don't deal with the double consciousness in the same way because they have the privilege of being men. Black women, we are black and we are women all the fucking time. And we're always dealing with what's so gross and tainted and wrong about being women and being black, but then what's also like how the world takes from us all the time. The brown breast feeds the fucking world. Dirty is such a heavy word. It's not just like physical dirt, like mud. It's like dirty, like soil, tainted, like flawed, like broken. Dirty nigger girl. Doesn't every black girl feel like that? Like at some point?
I was born female. I murdered that role though, the moment I inserted that lovely needle in my ass cheek. Filled to the brim with the hormone that made me feel safe, comfortable, secure, alive, sane and free. Most of all, representing me the way I see myself. Yes, testosterone. Testosterone, what we call T in my world. Testosterone defended me when my family tried to hold me in the memory of what I was when I came out my mom's pussy. Defended me when my body didn't represent the man I was mentally since 3. Even when religion tried to threaten me to misery for eternity if I chose to love who I love or simply be me.
Ready for war, Joe? How you wanna blow they spot? I know these dirty cops that'll get us in if we murder some wild.
Man, I can't believe we closed that bar out and not one of them gay niggas bought us drinks, man. It's 7 in the goddamn morning.
I know, man. I'm saying. I was looking at niggas trying to look good and shit, winking and shit, giving signals. What the fuck you trying to say? I don't look good or something like that, man?
Nah, no, you look good as fuck, man.
Yeah,
Yo,
man.
if I was gay and you was talking to me, all I could think was, goddamn, my butt is so wet right now. But fuck that shit, I ain't gay though.
We ain't gay, nigga. We
No,
hard.
nigga. Yo, it's like, yeah, nigga, I paint. But when I paint pictures of guns, not no gay-ass man or a bowl of fruit like some homo.
And if you were painting pictures of fruits and guns, it'd be the fucking gun shooting fruit. Nigga.
Yeah, that's what real niggas do.
Mad as fuck, though, man.
I'm mad at that fucking bartender, though, because I asked him if the bar closed, if he'd walk me to the crib. He said no.
The nigga said no?
He said no.
Let's kill that bartender, man.
Let's fuck that nigga up, man. Let's ride, man.
It'll be a cold day in hell.
Open the door. Get the door.
Make no mistake, for real, I wouldn't hesitate to kill.
It's locked, man. What?
Mother's way, smack you, then
You was right the first time. I'm sorry to believe you.
Man, you lucky, nigga. You lucky today's your lucky day. We about to ride up in there, put our foot up your ass, and our hands, and probably other parts of our body, too.
Man, why didn't you walk him home?
Let's ride, man. These niggas don't care about what we going through emotionally.
I'm going to bed. I'm tired as fuck.
Shit.
What the fuck are you doing in my bed, man?
Talking about, man? What if niggas is trying to kill us, man? We gotta wake up together so we got each other's backs.
Oh, yeah, man. True.
Yeah, dude.
No. That ain't me. Didn't match my hero, Nick. Both love dogs. Chest. Drips. I like cars with suspension. Catch Fabio niggas, that ain't gay. It's an observation. Mere observation. Aesthetic. Stop before it's too late. GNC nigga. Ducking whiskey. Sweat trickles. Trust me. What happened? I just had the worst dream of my life, man. It was about that pretty nigga that was walking down the street shit, man, with the long hair.
What was he doing, man?
He was just working out, man.
But that's gay.
It's gay. He trying to make me gay.
No, fuck that, man. That's the gay agenda. He's in your head. I read about that on World Star Hip Hop. Yo, we gonna kill that nigga, man. We gotta kill that. We gonna make an example of him, man.
Fuck, man. What a blaster. What a clap at, nigga.
We gonna take this gun, right? Yeah. We gonna put this gun in his mouth, nigga.
But wait, how we gonna know it fits?
Well, we gotta test it out right now, man. We gonna do it like this.
Okay. That's right, nigga. That's right, man. Come on, man.
He gonna feel that.
Well, he gonna know how to feel. That's the last nigga he gonna try to make gay. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, man. Say more things you would say to him with the barrel in his mouth, man. Yeah. Hey, you still sleeping?
Yeah, let's get some rest before we do this, man.
Okie dokie.
Everybody gets the fucking floor, Joe, we crack fuck them all. If they move, noodle, shoot that fucking whore. Dead in the middle of little did we know that we riddle to middle didn't.
Kink is a loosely defined and subjective term which encompasses various non-mainstream sexual interests. Practices such as bondage, dominance and submission, sadomasochism, leather fetishes, and roleplay fantasies, for example, exist on a spectrum from softcore to hardcore. Humans are social creatures. We tend to gather together with those who share similar interests, whether those interests are political, religious, or cultural. The communities which are formed around kink are predominantly white, the members of which may exhibit the same anti-black prejudices which can be found in society at large. This can create a double marginalization for kinky black folks who may experience rejection from kink communities because of their blackness, and simultaneous rejection from the black community because of their kinkiness.
I would say that my primary kink revolves around service and ownership.
What I define as is a narcissist.
A lot of biting.
Barehanded spanking. Race play.
I bottom to thud play.
I really enjoy role play.
I really like strap-on play.
Very light breath play.
A little bit of impact play.
A blood fetish. I like choking.
I've been involved in a few gangbangs.
Cuttings, scarification.
I like power exchange.
I'll peg as well. I've grown to like it.
Water sports, topping for it.
I like consensual non-consent.
Being controlled, training, receiving. So many things.
I know some people personally who've lost custody of and contact with their children because a partner used that against them in court.
I've most definitely faced more pushback from black men than I could ever have faced from white men, weirdly enough.
I've been called whore.
It goes at hoe.
And a whoremonger, which is awesome because that's like straight biblical.
Puta.
Slut. I feel like I dealt more with slut shaming myself. It was a lot of shame around when I first started doing it.
Trollop. Degenerate.
Jezebel. That was just a fancy way of saying pervert to me, you know. Sinner.
That's nasty. I'm usually nasty.
Perra.
Demon.
Trash. And I'm a harlot.
Devil. I don't want my people to tell me that I worship the devil. Bitch, definitely.
Dirty. And you should feel guilty about it.
How could you do that? Like, what is wrong with you? You know, like, that's just, you know, that's not godly, or that's not, you know, black, or whatever the fuck they wanted to call it. They just considered it to be wrong. Other people just was like, we're not going to talk to you. We're not going to hang out to you. You're nasty.
You must basically have some sort of mental problem.
I have never had any backlash about any of my kinks up to this point. However, the reason why I'm blurred out right now is because I don't want anything like that to happen in the future.
Yay! I love the word pervert. Mostly because the root of the word means to take something and to shift its utility, right? If what sexuality has become is something that is repressed, is something that's limited, is something that's dirty, and we can pervert it and make it something that is ours and something that is open and something that is accepted, I love it.
I really like the term pervert. I really do. I understand that it's been a slur, it's been an insult for a long time, but I think a lot of us have reclaimed it to the point where we almost kind of forget that it was something that could get people arrested, possibly even killed.
I think in some way we're all perverts, you know.
I tell everybody I'm a pervert. I am fun. I tell everybody I don't give a fuck. I'm one of the biggest pervs you ever meet. And I'm okay with that.
Do you want me to play with myself or something?
No, just tell me your story.
My story?
They say violence and tragedy are staples of American journalism because readers are attracted to gruesome details in photographs. If it bleeds, it leads, is the standard rule of thumb. But what happens when you're on the other side of the story?
My name is Vladimir. If you do as you're told, you'll be fine. But if you don't, we'll have problems.
I don't belong here. Well, this is your home now. You must try to get used to it. This isn't what I envisioned my life being when I was a little girl. Most of the men I sleep with are much older than me. I don't enjoy it, but sometimes they just want to talk.
Like what you see?
Looking for a little action? I guess you could say that.
Well, you can do whatever you want to, huh? Fucking ass. Come on her, come in the mouth. Whatever you like. Just no rough stuff, all right?
Do you recognize her? Have you seen her around?
Wait, calm down.
I'm not gonna hurt you, and I'm not a cop.
Tyson wouldn't like me talking to you.
She's my daughter, okay? I'm just trying to find my daughter.
Let's give it up for them all one more time. I told you there'd be titties. So once again, I want to remind you guys to please use the hashtags ABFF2015 and BBDIGITAL2015 because there's going to be a giveaway for ABFF tickets by the end. So please be tweeting and Instagramming and doing all that fun social media stuff. And one more time, give it up for all of these amazing web series that we watched today. Thank you so much. And I want to bring back out Darren and Empress and as well give it up to them for curating this and for selecting these incredible pieces of work.
Thank you, everyone. How did you like it? Right? Right? So now it's time for the discussion. I'm going to call all the content creators up, and we'll also have a wonderful panel of sex educators and activists. So,
people are asking for the Wi-Fi password.
You know it?
Up in the top, do you know the Wi-Fi password? We just want to make sure everyone has it. We have someone in the back. Yell it out, real nice and loud. Madiba, capital M, live. Okay, Madiba, live, with a 1 at the end. Okay. Cap. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Say it, Peppa. You got it? Right. There you go.
Okay, this is Madiba Live, but the live is with a 1 instead of an I, okay? And it's capital M and a capital L. I'm aggressive. Sorry about that.
Absolutely. Go ahead. Take it off.
All right. So we'll introduce our first panelist, Miss Andrea Lewis. Darling. Andrea is an actress and singer best known for her portrayal of Hazel Aiden on the teen drama Degrassi. The Next Generation. That's her. Yes. And Andrea's career as an actor emerged at the age of 5, and even before celebrating her 16th birthday, she had already acted alongside numerous Hollywood heavyweights. Taking her career to another level, she now writes and stars in the daring and witty weekly web series Black Actress. Bow, bow, bow. A Jungle Well Productions and Issa Rae YouTube channel. Andrea Lewis. Next we have Miss Ashley M. Bernal. Before relocating to New York to continue her education, Ashley worked as a program coordinator for Women with Vision LLC, creating a culturally specific program to better service African American and LGBTQ domestic violence, sexual assault, dating violence, and stalking survivors of the greater New Orleans metropolitan area. Ashley is currently an adjunct professor at St. Joseph's College in Brooklyn and CUNY's New York College in Queens, teaching sociology of gender and sexuality, race, and ethnicity. Yes, that's my boo. We went to Africa together. That's my boo. Next, we have Mr. Michael Roberson. Michael Roberson is a public health practitioner, advocate, activist, and leader within the LGBTQ community. With a focused commitment on the health disparities of Black gay men and Black gay men within the house ball community, Michael created the Federation of Ballroom Houses. He co-created the nation's only Black gay research group, hey now, the National Black Gay Men's Advocacy Group, and the nationally diffused CDC behavioral change HIV prevention intervention called Many Men, Many Voices. Yes. Next we have Miss Novel Idea. Novel Idea is the creator of Naked Layers, which is a series of film vignettes which explores themes related to Black women and their body. The current Naked Layers series, Mud, which we all seen, aims to explore representations of the Black female body within the physical space of the earth and dirt. The rest of Novel's work can be discovered at, oh, all right, we got a website. www.oneinmediasalon.com, and you can also find her on Twitter at oneinmediasalon. Next, we have True.
Actually, I'm sorry.
It's Kiana.
Kiana is here. Hey.
It's not supposed to be novel. It's supposed to be me.
Okay, cool.
She's a little shy. I'm a lot less
Aw,
shy than her.
yes. And this is Kiana. She was the woman who was profiled in Naked Layers. So shout out to you, Kiana. Love the piece. Love the piece. Next, we have True. True is a native of Los Angeles, California. He got his start in the film industry in the late 1980s as a scenic artist at Roger Corman Studios in Venice Beach, California. The renowned springboard for such filmmakers as James Cameron, Francis Ford Coppola, Robert De Niro, Ron Howard, Jack Nicholson, Martin Scorsese, and many others. I love saying that. I love it. He has received international acclaim as a graphic artist. His work has been featured and discussed in numerous design books, magazines, and conferences, as well as in newspapers and television and radio programs around the world. International Design Magazine named him as one of 40 of the world's leading design innovators. Next, we have Michael Boogie Pickney. He is the founder and managing director of Black Noise Media, a full-service production house based in New York City. He got his start over 12 years ago under the total gate of filmmaker Spike Lee, and soon after joined the Directors Guild of America. He has over 10 years of experience as an assistant director on films and television series such as The 25th Hour, Seventh Heaven, The Best Man, Law and Order, Inside Man, and the Academy Award-nominated film Precious, in which he was nominated for a DGA award along with the director Lee Daniels as part of his directing team. He's directed a variety of digital series from Soul King's Black Actress to The Colors of Love, in addition to producing the award-winning digital series For Color Boys Redemption, starring Tim Reed. The Trade, which we've seen, is Michael's directorial debut in episodic television drama.
Actually, we have his producer here, Kara Ford, who will be speaking. Thank you. Yeah. And then one last time, we want to remind you, at the end of this discussion, we have the ABFF raffle. So if you, what's the hashtag again? ABFF 2015. And then we have our other raffle, BB Digital 2015. And then we have the raffle for We Love Words, right? We Love Words, Works. Thank you. All right, cool. All right.
So let's go down the line and everyone say, as far as the content creators who are here, can you tell us why you chose to profile the theme that you decided to put up?
I'll start. As some of you may have heard, I come from a film and television background. I wanted to highlight Black women, women of color, because growing up in the industry, a lot of people have constantly told me negative things about Black women, and that Black women are not marketable, and that Black women are not supposed to be successful, and I just didn't believe that as a Black woman. So I chose to profile Black women in my work and to do content on the web that highlighted Black women and our uniqueness and our beauty, because I do not think that that's true. So that is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So Novel and I decided to do the Naked Layers project. It came out of an idea to do some classy nudes, like for our website, just to be kind of artsy. And then the stuff that kind of came up around, you know, how I felt about my body doing it, what we thought people might think looking at them, got us talking just a lot about just the really polarizing ways that Black women tend to be represented, either as like really hypersexualized or totally asexual, and how there's a long history of that. And that a lot of times we don't get to see Black women kind of in their bodies in an empowering way of ownership and of just being, where there's not some kind of overt sexuality attached to it. So we decided to just start filming these videos and with different themes and seeing what kind of came up around that theme.
Most of my art tends to function as some means of coalescing community, whether it's black poets, artists, students, black community. And when it came to the Black Pervert Project, when I realized that my kinks had communities associated with them, and I went into these kink spaces to explore these communities, I found that not only were they overwhelmingly white, but that the white people in them were not necessarily any more conscious than their counterparts in default society. And I kept walking into spaces in which I was the only black face. I would ask if the faces that I was seeing were representative of the demographics of the group. And without fail, the people would feign ignorance. They would not understand my question. And when I made it more clear that I was asking about the racial diversity of the group, I would have some white person tell me, some white person that had chosen to self-segregate from society based on how they like to have sex, I had them tell me that my goal of self-segregating from that group based on skin color was facile and was this superficial goal that they had all risen above in their color blindness. And I knew that there had to be other black perverts in the world. And how many of you have seen Afropunk? Okay. The creator of that film grew up as the lone black kid in his punk scene. When he created the Afropunk film, it helped to connect a lot of those lone black kids in punk scenes. And so today, there is an Afropunk community. There is an Afropunk annual event, and there is a nationwide or worldwide network of formerly lone weird black people that have now found each other. And I am hoping to have a similar degree of success coalescing black perverts around the world.
Hi, I'm Cara Ford. I am obviously not Michael Boogie Pinkney. He did want to be here, but he is on set today, but he extends his apologies for not showing up. But he's shooting around New York, so if you see him, say hi. I saw your pitch on BB Digital, and I loved it, and he'll be very happy. Thankfully, he did tell me about how he came to create the trade. He met a woman named Chong Kim, and she had been trafficked. And in her desire to get out of human trafficking, she tried to just break away, which I'm sure many people do, and she wasn't successful, so she chose another route. She rose through the ranks and then made a lateral move out. And in hearing her story, he started doing research. And in doing the research, he also learned from her that she said, this won't go away. This industry will never go away until men want it to go away, because men control it. So Michael, as a man, said, what can I do? And Michael, as a filmmaker, said, I'll make a film. And that's how the trade came to be.
Are you able to, well, we have you speaking about the ballroom scene or whatnot, but you're here to help us out with Eden's Garden. Is there anything that you can say about the piece from your knowledge about transgender issues?
I mean, one of the things that, first of all, because the filmmaker is here, so it would have been better for him to be on the panel. So one of the things I won't do is what we tend to do all the time and invisibilize trans. And so, Seven, can you stand up?
All right, yes.
And part of the reason why I did that is because, your point around the notion that this won't stop, human trafficking until men won't stop. And invisibilization really is a white supremacist notion. And white supremacy is really patriarchal. And one of the things we tend to do as oppressed peoples learn well from the oppressor and produce the same kind of oppressive structures on our people. I say that black LGBT people, particularly black LGB people, particularly have historically invisibilized trans. And there would be no movement without trans folks. And I was looking at the film on the Uganda situation, which is very, very good that y'all had that piece, and I was listening to people's affect to it. And it was amazing. It's amazing because we act as if that doesn't happen here. When 25 black trans women have been murdered in the last 6 months and there's been no outcry from black community. And so I wanted Seven to talk about his own film as a black trans man who's been due diligent to try to bring this to the forefront.
All right. So I'm a writer and a screenplay writer. So what actually encouraged me to write this kind of piece is because it's also an experience from my own personal life. And when you transition to become a black man in this country, it's a whole different dynamics that you have to be prepared for. And for someone to actually go through the whole physical part of it, the whole health-wise part of it, to sacrifice losing family and friends, to the aspect of society, to deal with the things that you might have been born with, but to be complete just looking in the mirror at the physical wise of it. I wanted to bring the voice of the trans male perspective, especially the black and Latino perspective, to the forefront. Because mostly on the media, the trans woman's perspective is out there, but it could also be due to the murders and the activism that they had to play in the front line that it carried over to the media. So as far as the trans male perspective, we have most of the time it's just celebrities of like Chaz Bono and things of that nature, but it's a lot that goes into this life. It's like a mental journey, a spiritual journey, a physical journey. And I also have one of the main casts of the and one of the main cast in the series, who's also a transgender man. He plays Andrea in it. And I wanted to do an advocacy and teaching experience in a scripted kind of format, something like Noah's Ark, but we have a different experience from cis males and things of that nature, from health-wise, from employment things, from discrimination, from transphobia, and just the voice of the trans male going to the forefront is my whole agenda with this.
Ashley, I know you've done a lot of research in this industry. You've worked with sex workers and women in domestic violence cases because of being sex workers. So can you tell us more about the work that you've done and what you plan to continue to do with it?
Well, I started out in doing research in a black family and kind of, I hate to say stumbled upon domestic violence and sexual assault. And so I worked for an organization that primarily serviced the black sex workers, HIV positive, and in New Orleans. So I don't know if you're familiar. So there was a law in Louisiana that specifically targeted trans sex workers, and they made them, if they were caught, not even in the act, if they were caught soliciting sex or being accused of soliciting sex, they were charged with a felony and they had to register as a sex offender. And so, yes, so of course that's a completely transphobic, homophobic law because it was only applied to anal or oral sex. If it was vaginal sex, then it would be a misdemeanor. So the organization that I work for, they fought and they had 2,000 sex offenders, trans sex offenders, removed from the sex registry list. And so I was the gender-based violence program coordinator because we found that most of the population of people that we work with were trans women, and the issues surrounding that with incarceration, HIV, drug abuse and all of those other things. And so the particular aspect that I look at is the idea that one, in terms of same-sex relationships, in particular trans relationship, is the misrecognition of who's the offender, who's the aggressor, or the fact that they don't even recognize it as domestic violence or sexual assault. And particularly with sex workers, how they're continuously targeted with violence and abuse because they're sex workers or they're trans, and so no one's, like you said, they're invisible. No one's recognizing them. And I learned so much, within that community that's separate. And I think that's important to separate the trans community from the LB, because it's completely different. There's so much social hierarchy even within that movement. And so I think it's very important. And so a lot of the work and how I want to move forward is to continue to give voice. Even though I am a cis woman, I have seen, I've been at the forefront of this in Louisiana and in New Orleans. So I want to continue to at least, help to give voice to that marginalized community, because, right now there is no research, and, without research, there's no policy reformation. And that's where the change can really occur. Yeah.
So we kind of started a little late, so I'm going to open it up to the audience really soon. But I do have one question for Kiana. I was just watching, and I'm just like, how was that experience, just being covered in mud, just the shooting process itself for you and Novel?
Oh, it was rough. It was rough.
Because you looked beautiful. You looked like you were
Thank
enjoying
you. No,
it.
I was tripping. It was a lot. I mean, we were like in Novel's backyard. Luckily, the weather was beautiful. It was a perfect day for it. But like I was in like Brooklyn dirt, like covered in mud, in my eyes, in my hair. That I was still washing mud out of my hair like days later. It was intense and it was like hard, but it was worth it. I feel like we captured an experience that was really powerful for me and for Novel and hopefully for people watching it. So, but yeah, it was rough.
Do we have any questions out here in the audience right now? No? Okay.
So, Andrea, being that you just started Jungle Wild production, right? And we were talking backstage, like we just know so many amazing content creators who have amazing content and no way of getting it out there besides YouTube, right? So what do you plan to do with Jungle Wild Productions to help our content creators out to really get their messages out there?
Well, I mean, when it comes to just the success that I've had online, I have done a lot of collaboration. I've co-produced with Issa Rae, Tatiana Ali, and Essence Atkins. Even one of my co-creators, Karen Warros Bruning, for Beyond Complicated, one of my second shows. I've done a lot of just working with other content creators. And so when it comes to my own production company, especially being a woman of color, I want to do the same for other content creators. I've been fortunate enough to be on television and to have that platform and to have people recognize me in that way. So I've done the best that I can in terms of working with people that I think are very talented and that I think deserve as much shine as possible and that I think can, benefit from working with the people that I know and bringing that world together. And that's just what I know when it comes to creating good work. It's about surrounding yourself with people that are very smart and very talented and very passionate, and that's how you get great work. And as a person of color, I meet people that are talented filmmakers, that are Black, that are Latino, that are like Indian, that are West Indian, that are all these different things that just kind of need some guidance or need some help or need some partnership. And when it comes to Jungle Wild, that's really just my mission when it comes to just putting out really good work and working with people that I think are passionate about that.
Gotcha. So for our content creators, I think what I really loved about the lineup is that a lot of these series are like profiled around real people, right? These are real stories. So what kind of research went into putting these stories together and finding these people to tell their stories?
Getting them comfortable enough.
Right.
Yeah. It's an open question.
Novel?
I just want to say that for Kiana and I, the process is the research. You know, it's each episode that we do is an exploration. So, you know, that's what it's about. You know, we'll continue to do that because, you know, that's why it's called Naked Layers. We want to peel back the onion of misrepresentation and just how we feel as Black women, you know, about ourselves, our bodies. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Good evening. I have a question for these two gentlemen here. You mentioned that the lack of media coverage in the United States on incidents of violence for transgendered women. Do you have any idea why it is that it seems like trans women are more likely to be the subject or the victim of violence than transgendered men in this country? And also, unless that's an assumption, and if it's not an assumption, like why do you posit that is? I'm assuming most of the violence comes from cisgendered men or men who might be repressed. Okay, that's my question.
So, I mean, one of the things, we named it in the room, what patriarchy is, and so I'm a believer that homophobia is about sexism. And that one of the reasons we pretend, and I said use the word carefully, we pretend that, excuse me, that we accept lesbianism is because men believe that it's either kind of freaky for two women to be together. Or then in the notion of power then says, I can understand a woman trying to be like a man and wanting more power. The difficulty is, I can't understand a man being with another man trying to be like a woman and giving up power. In that sense, this is part of the reason why trans men in many ways are perceived in a different way than trans women. The notion of transitioning into power. I have two trans friends, two trans men friends, one's white, one's Black. I asked the white one, what does it mean for you to be assigned female at birth, to be socialized through gender oppression, but to transition and step into white patriarchal power? And I said to my friend Sean, what does it mean for you to be assigned female at birth, to be socialized through gender and racial oppression, but to step into two dialectical tensions? One is patriarchy in Black community, but now you're the enemy of the state, right? Right? And so now when you walk down the street, you are targeted in a certain way. But within the Black community, though, you are lifted up in a certain way, particularly if you blend. Part of the difficulty for Black folk, to me, to talk about the murders of Black trans women, because the murders of Black trans women are at the hands of Black people. So then we have to then look at ourselves around what the slave psychosis does to our own folk, right? And so that, to me, is why.
Oh, all right, hands are up. We'll take, we'll do three more questions. One, two, three more questions, and then some closing remarks, okay?
Hello, my name is Elsa. It's my first time ever being around this. I have a question for you, because I like how you just explained that whole method. I have actually two questions, but I'm going to start with you. What do you mean men with power when you just explained that whole theory about transsex men who to develop power?
So if for instance, I go back to my friend Miles, he doesn't mind me naming him, and he's a white trans man. He was, again, assigned female at birth. And I use the word assigned because oftentimes the notion of biology is incorrect, right? Gender is socially constructed, not biological marker. So that's one. But two, he was assigned female at birth, transitioned into a white male, which means white patriarchal power, which means he walks into a place that he gets things that he never got before, right? I went back to school. I do public health, been doing public health for the past 21 years, and I went back to Union Theological Seminary and got 2 master's degrees. Not to be applauded, but I did that because I wanted to put the theological abomination narrative in conversation with HIV, because I believe it's direct impact. So Union is a very liberal school, and it thinks it's doing something progressive because it has 3 white trans men there. And I said, no, you're conservative because you have 3 white men there. Be real clear about what I'm talking about. It's not accidental that you don't have trans women there and or black trans men. So when you talk about black trans men who are assigned female at birth, and they step into now patriarchal power, because black men, regardless of what we don't want to act like, we have patriarchal power. We benefit from it all day, every day in black community. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to let it go. And I'm a black gay man, and I understand that, right? But here's the flip side of that. But now 7 now walks down the street and is targeted by the police a different kind of way. Mass incarceration on his body speaks differently than it did before. Not that mass incarceration doesn't impact black women. And so this is what I mean by stepping into power for white trans men and stepping into power and the enemy of the state. So here's a tension that's being had on the black trans man body and on his spirit, right? And it's a tension that you, in many ways, as Seven taught about, spiritual journey that you have to work out. Very different than black trans. So, I mean, your point around this, you know, we talk about stop and frisk in Harlem, you know, in Christopher Street, which was the space where a lot of LGBT folks congregated. You know, trans women would go down there, dress a certain kind of way, and immediately target as prostitutes, right? So there was a in the same way the black men have been targeted, black trans women have been targeted in the same way, have been incarcerated in the same way. The thing is, there's been no outcry, period. And so if we're going to talk about this notion of Eric Gardner and Mike Brown, that Black Lives Matter, all black lives gotta matter. So heterosexuals gotta show up. You know what I mean? You gotta show up.
I like how you broke that down, because like we are all equal, and people don't understand that in this world, if you're something different, you are considered target. And we're, at the end of the day, we're all equal. Either if we're black, white, you know, homosexuals, we're all equal, and people don't understand, so they like after us in that sense of matter. But I also would like to ask for whoever this goes to, because I saw a film where a sexual, they're trying to take them to war because of what they are. And I just want to know, how do you guys feel about that, the fact that you guys filmed it in Africa, and what do you guys want, what's your achievement to stop that? Because we're all the same, right?
Well, the filmmakers not here. I don't think the filmmakers not here.
But we do encourage you to go to the Pearl of Africa. He is raising money for all of his subjects' hospital costs. So, yeah, this is a big part. I'm going to go over here. But it's a big part of the BB Digital is going to these sites, subscribing on their YouTube channels, engaging with all the content creators. It's really, really good. Oh, you have Daria over here? You mind?
Hi, good afternoon. Well, good evening. I'm Daria. I'm actually an entertainment publicist, and across the board, I graduated University of Maryland with a minor in film and theater. And I love independent black theater, independent black film, and I just want to give each of you kudos, because I love the fact that it was so varied, each series, but it was so interesting, which is very hard sometimes as a creative to keep people's, to keep them interested. And I just want to say kudos again.
Okay, we're going to do one more. Sorry, I have this gentleman over here. And as I run over here,
Yeah, I'll ask the question nobody wants to ask. Do you feel an obligation to handle such heavy-handed topics? Like, aside from the young lady on the end, in the orange, she's the only one who seems like doing what she wants to do with the creative content that the internet is providing people with. The rest of you guys are like, I have to do this for the black community. I have to do this for the black community. I have to tell these stories. Are you torn between this? How does it feel when you get up in the morning? Like, I have to tell these stories, or else the black community is going to be in the fog for the rest of their lives. I mean, how does that happen?
Along with Andrea Lewis, I do a comedy too. I'm going to put Brett on the spot. Yeah, because, you know, I really do believe in comedy. So as I run over to Brett, put you on the spot, and could you answer that? Yeah, so like, do you feel like the pressure, you wake up in the morning, like, I'm offenders, the face of black community?
Yeah, I consider myself the Martin Luther King of Brooklyn and kind of, you're kind of divided because you want to do what you want to do, but I am a black man, and so there are stories along those lines. You do want to show diversity in a way that we haven't seen, but you do just want to do what you want to do, like kink. You just want to do what you want to do in the way that you want to do it. And in our comedy, we try to explore kink because it is that thing that you're shamed and you're kind of whatever it is. So I do think that you're kind of torn. You want to do what you want to do, but you want to help too.
Can I just say something quickly about that to address this gentleman? I don't feel that like my need to tell my experience as a black woman is a burden. I feel like that's me just being real about myself and connecting with other people on that, and I think that's a beautiful thing, and it's not something that like keeps me up at night like worried or keeps me from having other interests or exploring other stories or other aspects of myself aside from my blackness, but it's a big part that I think is real dope, and I like talking about it.
Really, self-expression is one of my biggest motivating factors. Always has been. Self-expression through art has been a key driving force in my life. And I express those things that I'm passionate about. Art and sex are pretty much the two things that I love most in life. And so in expressing those aspects of myself, in expressing any aspects of myself, I have to include the blackness because there is a constant onslaught of mainstream culture that is opposed to us, opposed to our bodies, opposed to our thoughts, opposed to our values. And it would be impossible for me to just express myself as an individual, subtracting the blackness, because that is a constant aspect of the forces that are allied against us.
I do want to say something really quickly about this. In fact, that most of us have created something that's not really comedic, it's more dramatic. And somebody told me that because we're all doing this as web series, so it's all going on the internet. And the common thought is that dramas don't do well on the internet. It's comedy works best. So we are going against the tide. We're swimming upstream and presenting dramatic pieces and very heavy pieces. It is part of our story. We should be able to tell them. We should have them accepted. And it's you know, if you don't want to watch it, it's okay.
So as we get ready to close this conversation out, we do encourage everyone to go to the bar and to Madiba restaurant, eat, drink, be merry. But we are a media collective and we thrive on collaboration. This is a really exciting time where you can say what you want to say and throw it up on the web. I don't know how much longer we can do that, hopefully forever and ever, but I don't know. So, you know, now's the time, and it's really, really exciting to collaborate with anybody, throw something, and gain momentum. And this is why we brought everyone here together in one room. We have similar interests and all that good stuff. So as we're chit-chatting and drinking, I really hope that you think about that in the back of your head and think of future collaborations. There's a lot of equipment, there's a lot of technicians and actors and writers, there's a lot of people. Yeah, we had a tech meetup, Silicon Harlem. They're outside, they understand coding and stuff, things that I will never get. So, you know, to just kind of, if anyone has any like closing remarks, particularly about media ownership, owning, because if we own our stories, you get a more diverse, you know, representation of us. Anyone wants to take that media ownership and go down the line, and then we'll do our 2 raffles?
The idea to get into filmmaking was one that I had a couple of years ago, and I sort of scratched my head at the beginning of the process and said, what does it take to become a production company? And I thought, it's sort of a Duchampian question. I am a production company if I say I am. So I bought equipment. I registered, my name is True. My production company is called True Stories. And I bought equipment and I registered domain names and then I just started shooting.
Yes. Yes.
I actually, True Stories has a presence on the web, but we are not creating web content specifically. I'm actually doing full-length theatrical feature films. So everything that you can see on blackpervert.com is just a glimpse into actual theatrical released full feature length productions. So if you are a black pervert, or if you know anywhere in the country, we are traveling around to get as full a representation as possible. We want to get, for reasons that I have not been able to figure out yet, 90% of our respondents have been female. So we've gotten cis, het women and queer women represented, but we are trying to get a much broader spectrum of gender representation, of sexual orientation, socioeconomic background, geographical location, because we know that being black in Jackson, Mississippi is very different than being black in New York City. We have traveled to New Orleans, to Baltimore, we are going to Atlanta, we went to Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, we are just about to head to Oakland and Portland. So anywhere in the country that you know of a black pervert, get at us, blackpervert.com.
I just want to, as you can tell, I love him. So I'm going to pump him up. In the same way that you just talked about the fact that you were doing multi-dimensional media. And so not only did, so what's the universe saying to us at this moment? I was thinking about how we have essentialized YouTube and believe that YouTube has always been around. But YouTube in many ways was created by the pain of black women. What do I mean? YouTube was created because of Janet Jackson's Nipplegate. And yes, it was. And so most folks don't know that. And as a result, you have this, and even TiVo in many ways was responding to this Nipplegate, people wanting to watch it over and over and over again. So y'all having this event at this moment in time, the universe is saying something about the lives of black people. And that we matter not only when we're incarcerated or dead or diseased, right? But he not only created this web series, but we're both part of the house ballroom community, in which, if you know anything about the community, a documentary 25 years ago was created called Paris is Burning. It's the 25-year anniversary of it, and there's always been tension between the community. And so 25 years later, that Madonna created the video Vogue. Again, two white folks, right? The appropriation of black bodies. He created a documentary called The Rebirth of Paris, with his own money, as a community level project to respond to this notion that the house ball community for 25 years had no representation of itself in film. So, thank you.
With that being said, can everyone please tell us where we can follow you and find your content? And I mean, you all are, your causes, all of that. You guys are miraculous. Please let us know how we can become activists with you and partner with you. So, Andrea.
You could follow me. Everything is on my website. That's missandrealewis.com. That's Miss MISS and Andrea Lewis, ANDREALEWIS .com. And that's just where you can find basically every single thing that I do.
You can watch the Naked Layer videos on oneandmediasalon.com. There's a Naked Layer whole section. And we also are on Twitter and Tumblr as well, just at One and Media Salon, right? Yeah.
TrueStoriesProductions.com is the general site that has all of our projects on it, but BlackPervert.com is specific to that film, and we're also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, FetLife, for those of you who are familiar with FetLife. But BlackPervert.com will give you all of that information as well as more clips from the film.
You can see and learn more about the trade and organizations that are working to stop human trafficking at blacknoisemedia.com. Go to the page for the trade. You can also find us on our Facebook page, which is The Trade, the movie, I think it is. But if you look for Michael A. Pinckney, you'll find all of it. And you can see that we've been researching this for a while. There's a lot of information on our Facebook page about human trafficking and organizations that are working to stop it, where you can go for help. And as we've submitted to lots of festivals, and as the festivals start to happen for us, we will be pushing out more content, partnering with people, taking on sponsors to help promote organizations that are doing this good work.
And you can also watch Eden's Garden. The series is coming out this September. It will be available on YouTube. It will also be available on edensgardentv.com and also on my production company, Seven King Entertainment. And for right now, we have a lot of behind-the-scenes things going on from Instagram, Twitter, and everything else on Facebook.
Oh, well, I don't have none.
You can find me at the new school. No, yeah, I'm at the new school. Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, but if you like to support the organization I work for, it's Women with the Vision, NOLA, www.nola.org, and they're doing phenomenal work. I mean, I wouldn't have left if I didn't. You know, the new school didn't call. You know, I have to get credentials to be validated, so yeah, I'm here. But yeah, Women with the Vision.
And BrettandTheCity.com is where you can find us.
Hi, I'm Joe. I'm the creator of Traffico. So Traffico-series.tv, and now we're on, we just got a deal with the Footprint.tv, so you can see us on there.
And also the Pearl of Africa. You can go to their website, thepearlofafrica.com. So I hope you've been tweeting. Because I want to welcome Jasmine Washington from the American Black Film Festival to the stage. She's going to let us know who won the raffle.
Hello, everyone. Like she said, my name is Jasmine Washington, and I'm the grassroots marketing coordinator for the American Black Film Festival. Just in case if you haven't seen the flyers around, the festival will be happening June 11th through the 14th. Our panels will be happening at the New York Hilton Midtown, and our screenings will be happening at the ANC Theater. Thank you guys for tweeting. We saw a lot of great tweets and Instagram posts about tonight's event. I will be announcing the winner. We are giving away two sets of 2 tickets to our How to Create and Monetize a web series, which is happening on Saturday, June 13th at the New York Hilton Midtown. So the winner for our Twitter winner is Shannon Nia. If you can see me afterward, I'll get your contact information. And our Instagram winner is Miguel A. Matola. Is he here? Oh, perfect. Okay. If you guys could come and see me after the event is over, I'll get your contact information and give you information on how to get your tickets. But like I said, for our full lineup, you can visit www.abff.com for all of the events that will be happening over the four days. Special thanks to BB Digital and the J-Dot Agency for all your support of the festival. And I hope to see you all in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
We have one more raffle from our vendors. So please go visit our vendors. We have Lemon Honey Jewelry and When Love Works. So let's see who won.
Hello. Thank you for your patience. Thank you, BB Digital. Thank you, J. Dot. I'm Elicia Mattox, founder of When Love Works. We're a coaching company. We work with individuals, groups, and couples who are interested in solving all of their relationship challenges. So if you want to do the work and get the conversation started, please visit www.whenloveworks.com. So for joining our mailing list today, one lucky winner will enjoy a customized coaching session that's an hour long and an hour-long massage with one of our partners. Yeah, it's too late to enter. We were right there by the door. Pull out your tickets. So if you have 622571, Sharice. Woo! Congratulations. Enjoy. Thank you all. Thank you.
Michelle, did we forget to thank anybody? Thank you again, Michelle. Huh? Silicon, and thank you again, Silicon Harlem. Thank you, Madiba. And DJ Will?
Yes. So, we really want to encourage you guys again to network with one another. Please come and talk to the content creators. Please go outside and talk to the people who were here for Silicon Harlem's Tech Talk. But if you want to stay in here and listen to some smooth grooves, DJ Goodwill will be playing in here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And a special thank you to Black Hole Radio. Thank you. Black Hole Radio. Thank you.
Yay!